Sing Noel, sing Noel, Noel, Noel. 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 Sing we all Noel. Sing Noel, sing Noel, Noel, Noel. Sing we all Noel. Sing Noel, sing Noel, Noel. Sing we all 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 Noel. Sing, sing Noel. Sing Noel, sing Noel, Noel, Noel. Sing Noel, sing Noel, Noel, Noel. Sing Noel, sing Noel, Noel, Noel. Sing Noel, Noel, Noel. Sing Noel, sing Noel, sing Noel, Noel. Sing Noel, sing Noel, sing Noel, Noel. Sing Noel, sing Noel, 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 Noel.
Happy holidays and welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Salt Lake City and to our annual holiday service of lessons and carols. I'm grateful for each and every one of you who is joining us today, and my holiday wish for you is that you will find hope, inspiration, and community in this service. There's more holiday fun to come after today's service. Tomorrow evening, we will have our annual solstice celebration live on Zoom starting at 7 o'clock p.m. We'll share stories and songs on the theme of the longest night and the return of the light. Then, please join us again on Zoom on Christmas Eve, December 24th, starting at 5:30 in the evening. Bring a candle of your own, or stop by the church this week and pick up a candle from the bin at the north doors. You can also drop off your donations at that time for our reverse Advent calendar food donations, supporting the Utah Food Bank. Please make sure that all of your donations have been dropped off at the church by Christmas, and thank you so much for participating. And now we begin our Lessons and Carols service by lighting the chalice with these words by the Reverend Jude Geiger. Living is a practice of bringing our full selves to bear. In the questing times when we're uncertain of our purpose, in the times of epiphany, when newfound clarity must be brought to action. In the times of loss, when hope flies from our grasp. Help us to remember the lessons of Christmas. New possibilities are ever abundant.
you're so lovely. Hush, hush, sweet is the sleep of Jesus. Hush, hush, holy is his rest.
Our first lesson today is from Emily Scott's For All Who Hunger. All through Advent, I had preached about the fundamentally disorienting promise of God's incarnation. The story of Christmas is not about Mary and Joseph taking an idyllic journey through the desert on the back of a donkey, I told the congregation, but of life coming apart at the seams. This is a story of disorientation, not a cozy tale of a baby in a manger. Christmas is about how God is born in forgotten places. It's about families forced to undertake a journey they can't afford at the worst possible time. The powerful men of this world puff and tut about decisions they deem necessary or reasonable, moving pieces on maps and signing their decrees. Meanwhile, in far-flung corners of their kingdoms, mothers tuck their children in their arms and clamber into boats and trucks that will take them across the sea or barbed wire borders. They pay the bribes, strap their babies into orange life vests. They have been told there is a better life on the other side, where their kids can grow up free. Mary was born a brown-skinned Middle Eastern teenager who gave birth alone among animals. She was poor, despised religious and ethnic minority, living in a backwater town under the rule of a powerful and unjust empire. In the years since then, the white men of history have wrapped her in a clean blue cloth and painted her skin lily white, a blue-eyed virgin looking up toward heaven. But Mary was all strength and sinew, bite and courage. She was more like the girls that live on the corner of Bond and Butler, young and dark-skinned, living in public housing, unmarried and knocked up, unimportant to the white men of history. They'd look at Mary and call her a welfare queen, put her in line to wait for food stamps, give her a subpar education, brand her illegal, and send her back to the border. We don't call women like her holy. As her first lullaby, Mary sings this song that unseats tyrants. God will tear down the mighty from their thrones. Remembering this, we might not be surprised to learn that her Hebrew name, Miriam, means not only bitterness, but rebellion. We play out this scene every year in our churches, as soothing and predictable as a bedtime story. God is in heaven, Jesus here on earth, and a star hangs above. All is well in the world. For those moments on those Christmas Eves, it seems that all must be well. God is here, as innocent as a newborn child. For some churches, whose congregants inhabit lives of comfort and ease, it can be a story to hide behind. All is well with them. They have all that they want and need. For others, who labor under the grinding weight of minimum wage jobs, who worry that their dark-skinned teenaged boy is looking awfully grown up, who wait for the knock of ice at their door. This story is not a salve, but a call to arms. God is born, the story says, and the woman who bears him calls for your liberation. It's Mary, the dirt-poor teenage mother, who shows us the paradox of God. To find God, we must not go up to emperors and rulers, but down to Mary.
Oh, Mary, rock, rock, rock your little baby, rock your child in the stable tonight. Oh, Mary, rock, rock, rock your little baby, rock your baby in the heavenly light. Oh, Mary, rock, rock, rock your little baby, rock your child in the stable tonight. Oh, Mary, rock, rock, rock your little baby, rock your baby in the heavenly light. Oh, Mary, rock, Mary, Mary, rock your little baby, rock your child in the stable tonight. Mary, rock, Mary, Mary, rock your little baby, rock your baby in the heavenly light. Angels join in the lullaby as the star shines bright in the winter sky. Shepherds travel from far and wide just to hear what the babies sigh. Oh, Mary, rock, Mary, Mary, rock your little baby, rock your child in the stable tonight. Mary, rock, Mary, Mary, rock your little baby, rock your baby in the heavenly light. Oh, holy baby, the heaven above, you have come to offer us peace and love. Joining now in a song of praise on this happiest day of days. Mary, rock, Mary, Mary, rock your little baby, rock your child in the stable tonight. Mary, rock, Mary, Mary, rock your little baby, rock your baby in the heavenly light. Oh, Mary, rock your baby tonight. Oh, Mary, rock your baby tonight. Oh, Mary, rock your baby tonight. Rock your baby in the holy light. Oh, Mary, rock, Mary, Mary, rock your little baby, rock your child in the stable tonight. Mary, rock, Mary, Mary, rock your little baby, rock your baby in the heavenly light. I said, rock your baby in the heavenly light. Oh, Mary, rock your baby tonight.
This lesson comes to us from Alabama native and the author of To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee. Several years ago, I was living in New York and working for an airline, so I never got home to Alabama for Christmas, if indeed I got the day off. To a displaced Southerner, Christmas in New York can be a rather melancholy occasion, not because the scene is strange to one so far from home, but because it is familiar. New York shoppers evince the same singleness of purpose as slow-moving Southerners. And at that time of year, New York streets shine with the same gentle farmer's rain that soaks Alabama's winter fields. I missed Christmas away from home, I thought. What I really missed was a memory, an old memory of people long since gone. I missed my grandparents' house, the sound of hunting boots, the sudden open-door gusts of chilly air that cut through the aroma of pine needles and oyster dressing. In New York, I usually spent the day, or what was left of it, with my closest friends in Manhattan. They were a young family in periodically well-to-do circumstances. Periodically, I say, because the head of the household employed the precarious craft of writing for their living. He was brilliant and lively. His one defect was an inordinate love of puns. There was about him a quality of fearless optimism, not of the wishing makes it so variety, but that of seeing an attainable goal and daring to take risks in its pursuit. his audacity sometimes left his friends breathless. Who in his circumstances would venture to buy a townhouse in Manhattan? He had come to New York from the Southwest, and in a manner characteristic of all natives thereof, had found the most beautiful girl in the East and married her. To this ethereal, utterly feminine creature were born 2 strapping sons. Her capacity to love was enormous, and she spent hours in her kitchen producing dark, viscous delights for her family and friends. They were a handsome pair, handsome in mind and body, happy in their extremely active lives. Common interests as well as love drew me to them, and their endless flow of reading material circulated amongst us. We took pleasure in the same theater, film, music. We laughed at the same things, and we laughed so much in those days. Our Christmases together were simple. The real Christmas was for the children, an idea I found totally compatible, for I had ceased to speculate on the meaning of Christmas as anything other than a day for children. Christmas to me was only a memory of old loves, empty rooms, something I had buried with the past that underwent a vague, aching resurrection every year. One Christmas, though, was different. I was lucky. I had the whole day off, and I spent Christmas Eve with them. When morning came, I awoke to a small hand kneading my face to wake me up. I got downstairs just in time to see the little boys' faces as they beheld the pocket rockets and space equipment that Santa Claus had left for them. As their father began distributing gifts, the children were in agonies of indecision over which package to open next. As I waited, I noticed that while a small stack of presents mounted beside their mother's chair, I had received not a single one. My disappointment was growing steadily, but I tried not to show it. They took their time. Finally, she said, "We haven't forgotten you. Look on the tree." There was an envelope on the tree addressed to me. I opened it and read, "You have 1 year off from your job to write whatever you please." "What does this mean?" I asked. "What it says," I was told. They assured me that it was not some sort of joke. They'd had a good year. They'd saved some money, and they thought it was high time they did something about me. They wanted to show their faith in me the best way they knew how. They wanted to give me a full, fair chance to learn my craft, free from the harassments of a regular job. Whether I ever sold a line was immaterial. Would I accept their gift? It took some time to find my voice. When I did, I asked if they were out of their minds. What made them think anything would come of this? They didn't have that kind of money to throw away. "It's a fantastic gamble," I murmured. "Such a great risk." My friend looked around his living room at his boys, half buried under a pile of bright Christmas wrapping paper. His eyes sparkled as they met his wife's, and they exchanged a glance of what seemed to me insufferable smugness. Then he looked at me and said softly, "No, honey, it's not a risk. It's a sure thing." Outside, snow was falling, an odd event for Christmas Eve in New York. I went to the window, stunned by the day's miracle. Christmas trees blurred softly across the street, and firelight made the children's shadows dance on the wall beside me. A full, fair chance for a new life. Our faith in you was all I had really heard them say. I would do my best not to fail them. Snow still fell on the pavement below. Brownstone roofs gradually whitened. Lights in distant skyscrapers shone with yellow symbols of a road's lonely end. And as I stood at the window looking at the lights and the snow, the ache of an old memory left me forever.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
It's a pleasure to share this lesson written by a dear friend and colleague of mine, Jane Jepka. We both go back to the beginning of the ministry at the same time. She begins this lesson by saying, "It's almost Christmas. I know what it's like. I know what goes on. The time has come. You bundle up, start the car, and drive in the snow over to the mall. You can't find a parking place. And finally, you spot somebody, a fellow walking to his car, and slowly you follow him as he wanders around the parking lot, drifting from aisle to aisle, lane to lane, until he finally finds his car, fumbles with his packages and car keys, gets in, smokes a cigarette, and vacates the parking space. Why are you in single-minded pursuit of this space? I mean, you need this parking space because 2,000 years ago, a baby was born in a stable. The store is crowded. It's 30% off, plus the 10% off coupon you hope you really put into your pocket on your way out the door. You purchase the percolator for your mother-in-law, even though, as it turns out, the 30% off does not apply to small appliances. And the coupon, well, wasn't in your pocket after all. You harvest a number of Christmas presents, a baby doll, baby Wiggles and Giggles to be precise, an electric dart board, a large bottle of rum, a gingerbread house with M&Ms on it, a chainsaw, an oversized tin can of caramel and cheese-flavored popcorn, and some gift bags with illustrations of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on them. Oh, and the inexpensive Grinch watch for yourself, and a red sweater, too, for all those parties coming up. Now, why are you buying the reindeer bags and the chainsaw and the gingerbread house? You spend your money and your time on percolators and popcorn because once upon a time, it is told, a wrinkled little baby was born to a mother named Mary. Well, back in the car, you're off to buy your Christmas tree. The lot is full of trees. Short trees, tall trees, medium trees, and for the life of you, suddenly you can't picture the height of your own living room ceiling. You take a guess, drag the tree over to the register and pay for it, and only then wonder how in the world you'll get the darn thing home. Should have thought of that before. So you borrow some twine, drive the tree on the roof of the car, wrestle it into the stand, untangle all those lights, exclaim at how many are burned out, and begin the desperate annual training maneuvers for your cat and dog, who never remember the Christmas tree rules from year to year. Why did you bring a full-fledged spruce into your living room and wind a couple of strings of electric light bulbs around it? Well, you put up a tree in your house with lights on it because, you see, 2,000 years ago, there was this baby born in a desert town far away, and you are celebrating. Whew. You're tired, but you keep on going. You roll out the dough, nicely chilled by now, and you cut it into cookie shapes. A bell, a camel, a star, a bow, a snowman, a round Santa Claus, another camel, another bell, over and over again until the dough is warm and sticky and small, even with all that flour. At last, you sit at the kitchen table and have a drink of eggnog. The holiday music is on. I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, and a snappy little medley that includes something about 3 ships, holly and ivy, bells that jingle, and bringing a torch. Why are you baking snowman cookies to further tunes of drumming boys and midnights clear? You are singing and baking because along about 2,000 years ago, that baby was born as the animals watched, and this is how you recognize that. For each and every one of us, the Christmas we have is the Christmas we choose. The quiet holiday alone with the candle and the passage from Luke. The crazy bustle where you travel a lot of miles and enter the chaos of feasting with family or friends. The Christmas volunteering at a shelter. Christmas with little children. The Christmas ignored, or so decked out that even the dog wears a big red bow. We keep the customs, we create the heritage. Why do we buy the gigantic cans of caramel popcorn and the percolator and baby wiggles and giggles? Well, because coffee and popcorn and baby dolls could make a loved one very happy. And love can be a part of Christmas. Why do we install a Christmas tree in an apartment that's already too small, decorated with this and that and lights all around? Well, because it's pretty and fun, and the tree lights the darkness. And lighting the darkness can be a part of Christmas. Why do we knock ourselves out baking cookies in the shape of stars and singing carols that highlight a new baby life and peace and joy, because we love to hope, and hope can be a part of Christmas.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Our final reading today is perhaps one of my favorites, and I judge that because over my 46 years of ministry, this is the one reading that I have taken out about every 5 or 6 years, because I need a refresher, and I have the feeling my congregation does as well. It's written by Gordon McKeeman, who we always affectionately called Bucky McKeeman, was retiring from the ministry just as I was entering the ministry, and still somehow in a magical way we connected. Bucky was an old Universalist, a proud Universalist, and back in those days, distinctions were made really about who was an old Universalist as opposed to an old Unitarian. But now it's fortunately just melded into one hybrid Unitarian Universalist. But here are the words of, I think, probably everybody's favorite old Universalist, Bucky McKeeman. When the world was much younger and things were new, God seemed very close to earth. They say he went walking in the garden in the cool of the day. But then there wasn't much to come between God and his people. There were no wars, no racism, no unemployment, no poverty, no foreign languages, no religious denominations, just God and his people. However, time passed and things got much more complicated. There were different nations. Each one had an army. There were different governments. Each one thought theirs was the best. There were different languages, mostly a hindrance to communication. There were even different gods. Every country had one, and each thought theirs was the best, meaning the most powerful, the most helpful, the most terrifying. And as the gods of these nations came closer and closer and closer to their own little plots of land, God, who was bigger than all of them put together, was pushed further and further away. Now, people went through the motions of religion. They prayed to their idols, sacrificed animals to them, built magnificent temples for them. But God, the living God, was more remote than ever. And people had wars, battles, skirmishes, armaments, troops, also injustice. There were exceptions, of course, peoples whose hearts bled at the very misery of what was going on. and they were called prophets. And they said, "Let justice flow down as rivers, and righteousness as a mighty stream. What doth the Lord require of thee but to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with thy God? Beat your swords into plowshares and your spears into pruning hooks." They were called prophets, but as a matter of fact, there was mostly for them ridicule, indifference, anger, punishment. And all the people went right on having wars, slavery, oppression, exploitation, injustice, misery, and going through the motions of religion, praying, sacrificing animals, fasting. It seemed that a new approach was needed. Obviously, if the people were not getting closer to the living God, well, then the living God would just have to get closer to the people. And then, one day, a man strode down the dusty roads of the land, and the Spirit of God was with him. Somehow you could tell. It might have been his patience under trial, or the way he looked at you, or perhaps the way he sifted out the important things from the chaff, or the way he took ordinary people, fishermen, tax collectors, and others, and made them extraordinary people, devoted, dedicated, powerful, courageous. No matter what told you, you could tell the Spirit of God is in this man. It was as though God himself walked once more in the cool of the day. Everywhere he touched life, it was transformed. Sinners repented of their sinful ways. Warriors cast aside their weapons. Masters freed slaves. Love replaced hate. Mercy tempered justice. And some began to see that religion was not just going through the motions, it was the quality. Religion was the quality of a person's life. For behold, here was a man who showed what life could be. He not only talked about love, he loved. He not only talked about forgiveness, he forgave. He not only preached good for evil, he gave good for evil. But even he had enemies, those who profited from war, from slavery, from exploitation, and these did him to death. People said that he died an innocent man, but he wasn't innocent. They feared a revolution, and that was what he wanted. A revolution against war, a revolution against slavery, oppression, evil. A revolution inside the human heart. People killed his body, but his spirit would not die. Looking back, remembered the words of a prophet, "Behold, a maiden shall conceive and bear a son, and his name shall be called Emmanuel," that is, God with us. And they said, "This must have been the man, for truly he showed us God, the living God in us." So people began to celebrate his birth, and they told stories about that wonderful night. So humble he was, they said, he might have been born in a stable. So wise he was, they said, that the wisest of men would pay him homage. So close he brought God, they said, that angels may have heralded his birth. So knowing he was, they said, of the ways of earth, that a star would illuminate his cradle. And ever since, people have celebrated this man's birth, but we haven't gotten it quite right yet. For still there is war, slavery, exploitation, poverty, hatred. But we know it doesn't have to be that way always, so we shall not cast aside his dream, because we know that God dwells in human hearts, that we live better by love, find forgiveness in forgiving, and peace in being peaceable. It is simple, really, to understand this man. They shall call his name Emmanuel, God with us. Emmanuel, God with us. So be it.
Oh, come, Emmanuel, and with your captive children dwell. Give comfort to all exiles here, and to the aching heart bid cheer. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come within us, love to dwell. Oh, come, you dayspring, come and cheer our spirits with your presence here, and dawn in every broken soul as vision that can see the whole. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come within as light to dwell.
As we extinguish the chalice, may we pause at this season to look within, to ponder in our hearts our own life's meaning. May we take upon us the warm spirit of hope, and may the peace of the season be ours. Amen.
We wish to thank the wonderfully talented soprano Melissa Heath and her equally talented pianist spouse Christian Asplund for joining us in this year's Lessons and Carols service. Both have extensive professional careers in music making and currently hold professorial positions at Utah Valley University and Brigham Young University. Thank you both for helping to bring the delicious gift of music to our holiday worship. And may we, your staff at First Unitarian, take just a moment to thank and acknowledge the remarkable work that Tristan Moore has brought to this year's Herculean task of making virtual church happen. His extraordinary skill with technology and his kind and cheerful nature are so deeply appreciated. Please don't forget to join us for our solstice worship on Monday and our Christmas Eve worship on the 24th. From all of us to all of you, have a very happy holiday.